Excuse me, ma'am. What a lovely balcony view you have here. Do you mind if I join you for a moment?
Oh, please do. It's my little sanctuary. I sit here every morning with my tea. It's the best part of my day.
That sounds wonderful. I'm Alex, and I'm working on a project for 2025, collecting pieces of life advice from people with years of wisdom. If you had one piece of advice to share, what would it be?
Nice to meet you, Alex. If I had to pick one thing, it would be to set clear boundaries for balance. It's something I wish I had learned much earlier in life.
That's great advice. Could you tell me more about how setting boundaries has impacted your life?
Absolutely. For years, I was a people pleaser. I said yes to everything extra work, social events, favors for friends. And I thought it was my responsibility to keep everyone happy. But over time, it wore me down. I became exhausted and resentful, though I didn't realize it until I faced a health scare.
That must have been a tough time. Was that when you decided to make a change?
Yes, it was. The doctors told me that stress was affecting my heart. I realized I couldn't continue living that way. I started small, learning to say no to things that didn't align with my priorities. It wasn't easy, but it was liberating.
What steps did you take to set boundaries?
First, I figured out what was most important to me: my health, my family, and my peace of mind. Then I started communicating openly with the people in my life. I'd say, I'd love to help, but I need to focus on myself, right? I also set time limits on work and made space for rest and hobbies.
That's amazing. Did people respect your boundaries?
Surprisingly, most did. The people who truly cared about me understood, and those who didn't, well, they weren't the kind of people I needed to keep.
Why do you think setting boundaries is especially important for 2025?
The world is busier than ever. Technology keeps us connected 24/7, and the pressure to always be productive is overwhelming. If we don't protect our time and energy, we'll burn out. Boundaries let you focus on what really matters.
Any advice for someone struggling to set boundaries?
Start by recognizing that self care isn't selfish, it's necessary. Practice saying no kindly but firmly, and remind yourself that you're protecting your well being. When you set boundaries, you're not only helping yourself, you're showing others how to respect your time.
That's so inspiring, Margaret. Thank you for sharing your wisdom.
You're welcome, Alex. Just remember, boundaries are the foundation for a balanced and meaningful life.
Thank you for joining us today, Mrs. Eleanor. It's such a pleasure to have you here, and I see you've brought a little friend with you.
Yes, this is Whiskers. He keeps me company and keeps me young, I suppose.
Whiskers is adorable. Eleanor, you're 81 and full of life. Many would say you're the epitome of adaptability. Can you share how you've embraced the idea of adapting and upskilling throughout your life?
Oh, Alex, life doesn't come with an instruction manual. You've got to be willing to learn and grow as things change. In my 60s, I picked up gardening, never touched a plant before that. By my 70s, I started using a smartphone to stay connected with my grandkids. And recently, I've been taking online art classes.
That's incredible. Many people find change daunting, but you seem to embrace it wholeheartedly. What motivates you to keep learning and adapting?
Curiosity and the desire to stay relevant. I've seen the world shift in so many ways, from handwritten letters to instant messaging, from black and white TVs to video calls. If I didn't adapt, I'd have missed out on so much joy. Plus, Whiskers here teaches me patience every day.
That's such a powerful perspective. For those hesitant to adapt or learn new skills, especially as we head into 2025, what advice would you give?
Start small. It's not about mastering something overnight. It's about taking one step at a time. Try something that excites you, like learning a new recipe or picking up a hobby, and most importantly, don't. Every mistake is a lesson.
Wise words, Eleanor. It sounds like your philosophy is a great guide for a fulfilling life.
Absolutely. Remember, life isn't about age, it's about attitude. Whether you're 18 or 81, staying curious keeps you alive inside.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much, Eleanor, for sharing your story and advice.
My pleasure, Alex. Let's make 2025 a year of growth and discovery for everyone.
Embrace change, stay curious, and continually upskill to live a more vibrant and fulfilling life. Good afternoon, Mr. Bernard. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us. I see you're waiting for the bus. Do you often travel this way?
Good afternoon, Alex. Yes, I do. Taking the bus gets me out of the house, keeps me moving, and lets me interact with people. It's part of my little routine to stay active.
That's wonderful to hear. At 85, you seem incredibly active and full of energy. What's your secret to focusing on your health and well-being?
No big secret, really. I've learned to prioritize balance. I walk to the bus stop daily, eat simple and wholesome meals, and never underestimate the power of a good night's sleep. But most importantly, I keep a positive mindset. It's as crucial as physical health.
That's such valuable insight. Many people struggle to maintain their health, especially as they age. What inspired you to focus on it?
When I turned 70, I had a health scare, a mild heart attack. It was a wake-up call. I realized that if I wanted to enjoy life, I needed to invest in my well-being. I started taking long walks, practicing yoga, and even learned a bit of meditation. It transformed my life.
That's inspiring, Bernard. It sounds like you made some big changes. For those looking to improve their health and well-being in 2025, what advice would you give?
First, start with small steps. Maybe take a short walk each day or try cooking a meal from scratch. Don't make it overwhelming. Second, listen to your body. It'll tell you what it needs. And third, remember that mental health matters just as much as physical health. If something is stressing you out, take a moment to breathe or talk to someone.
Wise words. It sounds like you've mastered the art of living a healthy and fulfilling life.
Mastered? Not quite. I'm still learning every day. But I do know this. Good health is the foundation of everything else. When you feel good, everything else in life becomes more enjoyable.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your story and tips, Bernard.
My pleasure, Alex. Let's hope 2025 brings more people closer to their healthiest and happiest self.
Your health and well-being are your greatest assets. By embracing mindful habits, staying active, and nurturing both body and mind, you can build a strong foundation for a vibrant, joyful, and purposeful life ahead. Good afternoon, Mrs. Margaret. Thank you for welcoming me into your home. I see you're flipping through a photo album. May I ask what you're looking at?
Good afternoon, Alex. These are memories of my family, friends, and neighbors. Each photo reminds me of the kindness and love I've experienced throughout my life.
That's beautiful, Margaret. At 80, you've likely seen how acts of kindness and compassion can shape lives. How has that principle guided you?
Oh, Alex, kindness has been my compass. Whether it's offering a helping hand, listening to someone's worries, or simply sharing a smile, those little gestures create ripples. I've always believed that a life led with compassion is a life well lived.
That's so inspiring. Was there a moment that cemented this belief for you?
Yes, there was. Many years ago, my neighbor, a single mother, was struggling. I offered to babysit her children while she worked. She later told me that my kindness helped her get through a very difficult time. That moment taught me the power of even the smallest acts of compassion.
What a touching story. In today's fast-paced world, people often feel they don't have time for kindness. What advice would you give for leading with compassion in 2025?
Start by slowing down and really seeing people. Everyone is fighting their own battles, even if they don't show it. A kind word, a little patience, or even acknowledging someone's presence can mean the world. And don't forget to be kind to yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup.
That's such a meaningful point. How do you think focusing on kindness and compassion can shape the world in 2025?
I believe it can heal when we approach challenges with empathy. We create connections rather than divisions. If each of us leads with compassion, we'll not only improve our own lives but also uplift our community.
Profoundly said, Margaret. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your beautiful stories.
Thank you, Alex. Make May 25 a year of kindness, a year where compassion becomes the norm, not the exception.
Leading with kindness and compassion isn't just about helping others. It's about creating a ripple effect of understanding, healing, and hope that transforms both individuals and communities into stronger, more connected versions of themselves. Good afternoon, Mr. Walter. Thank you for inviting me into your home. I see you're having some fun with your dog. What's his name?
Good afternoon, Alex. This little rascal is Max. He's my best buddy. He keeps me active and reminds me to enjoy the small moments in life.
Max seems full of energy. Walter, at 88, you've experienced so much. Today, we're talking about the importance of taking time to reflect. How has reflection played a role in your life?
Reflection is a powerful thing, Alex. It's like looking in the mirror, not to dwell on the past, but to understand it. I often sit quietly with Max, thinking about the lessons life has taught me. It helps me grow and appreciate where I've been.
That's such a meaningful practice. Was there a specific time when reflection helped you make an important decision?
Oh, yes. Many years ago, I retired and didn't know what to do with myself. I spent weeks reflecting, asking what truly mattered to me. That's when I decided to volunteer at the local animal shelter where I found Mac. Reflection gave me clarity and a new purpose.
That's inspiring, Walter. In today's fast-moving world, people often forget to pause and reflect. What advice would you give for incorporating reflection into life, especially as we approach 2025?
Start small. You don't need hours. It's just a few minutes at the end of the day. Ask yourself, what could I have done differently? Reflection isn't about judgment. It's about learning. And don't just think about challenges. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small.
That's excellent advice. How do you think reflection can help people in 2025?
Reflection brings clarity and peace. In a world full of noise, it helps you reconnect with what's truly important, your values, relationships, and dreams. It's like giving your mind a moment to breathe.
Beautifully said. Walter, thank you for sharing your story and perspective.
My pleasure, Alex. I hope everyone takes a little time to reflect in 2025.
It's a gift you give yourself.
Take time to reflect. It's a powerful way to learn from your experiences, find clarity, and build a more intentional and fulfilling life. Reflection isn't about looking back. It's about moving forward with purpose. As 2025 unfolds, let these stories inspire mindfulness, love, and meaningful connections. Embrace life's impermanence and live with purpose. Subscribe for more wisdom and inspiration to create a fulfilling life and make every moment